So the Football Manager beta is here, and with that, our first Let's Play of the year begins, but this is going to be a Let's Play like no other. I've seen other people managing big teams on YouTube, and I thought, I want to manage a big team too. I want to manage Chelsea, but I want to do things differently. And so it's for that reason, I can reveal we are going to be trying out one of the new game modes in Football Manager this year, Your World. And if you are sat out there wondering, Jack, what is Your World? Essentially, whatever start date you start the game at, no transfers beyond that date that happened in real life will have happened in-game. And by using a Bulgaria start date, we can start in mid-June and take over a Chelsea team before the madness of the last few months unfolded. Now, I did cover this already in my video covering the new game modes, but if we start a save with the Bulgarian start date, make a manager who's just unemployed, and then retire this manager, we can now add a manager as Chelsea coach. And so with a Chelsea team predicted to finish 6th, we're taking over. Now, here's the deal. We're in June, and episode 1's on YouTube. You might notice there's no episode 1 in the title of this Chelsea Let's Play video. Episode 1's are rather important for the algorithm. And so starting with some massive transfer special for episode 1's, not necessarily ideal. Many people, you tune into episode 1 of a Football Manager Let's Play to see the new match engine and see how the game looks. We're not doing that today. Instead, I'm doing a transfer special prologue. We have a transfer budget of £170 million. I have a squad that needs trimming. I mean, if you like transfer specials, today is going to be your dream episode. And of course, for those of you that want to see matches and stuff, tomorrow midday, usual time and place, we will have a regular episode up, fret not. So new Football Manager, same tactics, die hard, 4-2-3-1 game compress. That feels like a good start to me. And as always, if you are looking at my game thinking it looks really pretty with logos, kits, stadium pictures and player faces, there will be videos in the next few days covering each and every aspect of how I've got my game modded, including my custom skin, which should be out at the time of you watching this video. Apparently Football Manager added some new features, didn't they, to get rid of players. I hope they work. I'm gonna need them. Let's run the intro and get straight into things, shall we? Yes, folks, I hope you guys are doing absolutely amazing. Welcome to Chelsea episode 0, the transfer prologue. Here, we're going to try and get loads of transfer business done so that for tomorrow's episode, I can focus on tactics, matches, and all the other stuff involved in the game. Of course, it does go without saying, if you are excited for Football Manager and the start of this Let's Play, drop a like on the video. Let me know in the comments who you're managing in the beta. And if you've not yet picked up the early access beta, check out the link at the top of the description. I've partnered up with Fanatical, Sega-approved retailer, 22% cheaper than Steam, and you get instant beta access if you buy that link. And it helps me, which is appreciated. Although here at Chelsea, I'm not sure we're necessarily going to need money. £175 million of the transfer budget. The transfer window opens tomorrow. And in fact, it isn't until I've looked at this Chelsea team that I realise how much of this squad is no longer here. I have a chance to make something of Mason Mount at Chelsea. I have a chance to make Lukaku my star striker. Can I do what no other Chelsea managers managed to do and get this bloke scoring for us? Oh, and Kai is still here as well. There's all these players they've got rid of, and in Football Manager, they're actually quite good. In fact, I'm now going through this list of players, highlighting all the players who have been sold. These players are sorted by ability, of course. And I'm quickly realising why Chelsea might be struggling. According to Football Manager, they got rid of all their players with good ability in the summer. Have just noticed Lukaku on £350,000 a week. Wesley Fofana is on £230,000 a week. He's injured for 11 to 13 months. I feel sorry for Pochettino already. I've just been starting out a preliminary 11 here that could play. I've realised the squad I've picked is just FM23's Chelsea team. I'm getting rid of some of these players. And the first man who I think I want to catch in on is Lukaku. The fans dislike the player. So with that in mind, I'm going to ask his agent about any interest in him. I'm desperate to sell him. Apparently, his agent can bring in a bid of 42 million. I mean, that sounds like good news. Tutorial. I don't need tutorial stuff, Football Manager. I've done this before. Apparently, Man U, PSG, Barcelona, all interested. I'm going to ask an intermediary to help me with selling him. Mr. Intermediary, the teams can't make bids for Lukaku. Oh, is it because the transfer windows are closed still? Not that I'm banking on PSG signing him, but when does their transfer window open? When can they do dealios? I feel so overwhelmed looking at this squad that before I consider signing anyone, I feel like I need to get rid of more players like Lukaku. Koulibaly's got some interest in him. Of course, in real life, he went to Saudi Arabia. There are some Saudi clubs interested. What's the agent saying about him? £16 million bids. I feel like we can do better than that. Apparently, Al Shabab are not interested in making an offer while the transfer window is closed. When does anyone know when the Saudi transfer window opens? Football Manager doesn't let you click on the league to check the league rules. When it does open, hopefully they make a bid. I think my initial priority here is to sell as many players as I can early and then work out how we spend some money after that. Christian Pulisic, you can go, my friend. According to his agent, Scott Bell, someone can bid 54 million. Tottenham already interested. Let Tottenham in. Oh yeah, Hakim Ziyech is still a Chelsea player, right? He kept failing fitness tests everywhere. We'll get rid of him. His agent thinks that some teams have interest, but they don't have him as a high priority. Can I hire an intermediary? Can an intermediary help us? Oh my word, they actually can. So if you didn't know, this year in Football Manager, they've added a new feature with these new intermediaries who will basically broker deals for you. They want to cut, but you can see here the kind of money we might be able to get. Ryan Wilson wants 9%. I like Lemaitre more. I don't know. Was that a good French accent? Probably not. That's Melvin, help me out. Aubameyang's here. Get rid of him. Looking at Malan Sarr is just making me sad. He can go. I feel like Ampadu was a wonder kid for years in Football Manager. Now he's about to turn 23 and I'll be honest, he's just not good enough for us. Bakayoko was still at Chelsea in June. Is he still at Chelsea now? I've lost track of players at Chelsea in real life. I can't believe how many teams want him. Apparently, Qatar teams want him. How sad. If you want to bid on Bakayoko, that would be dandy. See, there's players like Kovacevic who in real life left Chelsea. Do I want to get rid of him? Oh, we'll see who wants to bid on him, I guess. I feel like by the end of this video, going into episode 1, I'm going to have sold everyone. I'm going to spend half of episode 1, in spite of this being the transfer special, explaining all the mad transfers. Oh yeah, João Felix is on loan at Chelsea in June. Do we have an option to buy him? We don't have an option to buy him. I could buy him. Is he good? Is he worth keeping? I'm not convinced. Okay, the transfer window is open. There's 17 bids to deal with. My, oh my. Tottenham have offered to loan Ziyech for a bit of money. Can you just buy him instead? 32 million and you can just have... Should have negotiated more. Kovacevic has had an offer from Newcastle. I mean, it's Newcastle. They've got more money than that, surely. 44.5 Newcastle. I really need to work on my whole negotiating shtick. I can't believe how many bids I've had for Bakayoko. I'll accept them all. I just need him gone. Al Shabab have made a bid for Ampadu. Tottenham have made a bid of 54 million for Pulisic. I'll tell you what, they're not picking up Brennan Johnson, are they? Yeah. 54 million. Bids for Lukaku. I didn't even spot that. This could be the big one. I feel underwhelmed and disgusted. Man U have bid 42 million. Apparently he has no interest in that. The other team who have bid... PSG. You know, Lukaku, known for his loyalty, very keen on speaking to PSG. I think he's always supported them, to be fair. I'm going to be cheeky here. You know, I've not done very good with my negotiation previously. 70 million. They've locked in 46, and yet I think I'm just going to take it. I mean, he has no interest in Man U, so we'll just reject this bid. What I will do is just ask intermediaries. Does anyone think they can get me more than the 46 million? Oh, God, I have to do math to work out the cuts. I don't think either of these deals are worth it, are they? I've got loans for loads of young players. I've not got the mental capacity to deal with that. I've got all these other sales I need to get done first. I didn't realise Chelsea actually have a core of really good, exciting young players. Players like Trevor Chalobah actually look absolutely mad in game. And with players like Badiashile and Fofana injured at centre-back, he could be really good. Colwill as well looks absolutely immense. 20 years old, crazy potential. I'm tempted to go full-on Brexit mode here and just sign all British players with all the money we're making. I mean, I could build my team around Callum Hudson-Odoi. No one has ever said that in the history of humanity, have they? Baba Rahman, yeah, he can go. I didn't even realise he was still here. There's going to be players that I'm finding down the back of the sofa for like the next few weeks, I think. Todd Bowley here. I mean, Todd, if you want to give me a bit more money like in real life, I mean, think of future transfer windows. I'm thinking of this window and spending money. Is he going to give me money like Chelsea have had in real life? Because if he is, I'm very excited. Probably an important thing to remember at this point. Continental competitions, none. Chelsea had such a bad year last year, finishing in 12th. I'm only going to have a few competitions to worry about. So squad rotation is going to be important to keep everyone happy. Equally, just trimming this squad down is going to be important too, I think. Kepa is wanted by teams in Saudi Arabia. Off your pop, son. Do I want to keep Mendy? I mean, there's no interest in him right now. Should we ask his agent? Is there any interest? PSG could be interested. 30 million. 30 million pounds for a 31-year-old goalkeeper. I am tempted. I asked some intermediaries. They don't think they can get any bids. I mean, we'll see if PSG bid, I guess. The football manager player in me looks at Thiago Silva, age 38, and screams, I need to sell him. And then I look at his actual attributes. He's mad. He's not going anywhere. PSG have made a bid for Mendy. He wants to go. I want him to go. See ya. I hope not all intermediaries are like this. We had our intermediary, looking for bids for Ziyech. Just a reminder, I've accepted 32 million from Marseille. The intermediary has said, I can get 15 million pounds. By the way, I want a 6% cut. Absolutely not. Okay, first sale of the window. Ampadu, 21 million pounds. Just checking, in real life, he went to Leeds for 8 million euros. So, I've done some good business there. I'm going to compare every bit of business I do to real life. I mean, the Saudi teams have come in for Kepa. Am I right to feel insulted? What are these installments? Like, Al Hilal, you're not fooling anyone. You're bidding 24 million pounds over a load of years. I know you got money. 40 million, please. I mean, they nearly went along with it. How about you give me 32.5 million up front, and then in 6 months, I'll take 7 million off you. They didn't like that. 20 million now, 20 million in 6 months. How does that sound? They love it. I love it. Everyone's happy. I don't have a goalkeeper now. Oh yeah, Al Ali did also bid as well. I feel like this is negotiating with Saudi Simulator at the moment. Let's just ask for 40 million up front. Was ambitious. Okay, I got 20 million up front and then 20 million in 6 months' time previously. I'm going to try a different approach here. I want 20 million now, 30 million in 6 months. I've got 50 million pounds for Kepa. We're running. Secure the bag. Cancel that other deal. 50 million. 50. Yep, that's fine with me. I feel like this Your World mode is pretty fun for a short-term beta save. I don't know if there's much longevity to it, much like in N'Golo Kante's career, but I'm enjoying myself at the moment. So one of the limitations of Your World mode actually is that players whose contracts expired at the end of June get given renewals, just the way the game handles things. So Kante left on a free. We've got him for 2 more years. Do I want to sell him? If I did sell him, would I let him go on a free? I guess I'd have to, but to be honest, kind of fancy keeping him around. He's got model citizen personality, and with some of the other older players that I'm looking to move on, I could do with some seniority, and I feel like in N'Golo Kante, he could be a good tutor to the people. So Mendy's moved on to PSG for £27 million. Todd's just reminded me of the board expectations for the year. They want Champions League football through the league this year. If we don't get that with all the money we've got, I am awful at Football Manager. Now, in real life, Lewis Hall is moving to Newcastle. He's in our under-21s. He looks absolutely phenomenal. I think I'm going to keep him around. I say that because I'm currently getting bids for him. I don't think I'm ready to loan anyone out yet. I've got other things to sort out first. Has just dawned on me, this is the first team. Does the second team have issues that I need to deal with? Oh my word, there's loads of players here as well. Madueke's down here. Dantro Fofana, Chukwuemeka. They've got too many players. Someone should let Chelsea know. They clearly don't realise this. Like Slonina, I don't know if it's still the case, one of the best goalkeepers in Football Manager. Would it be stupid if I sell Kepa and Mendy to just make this guy my first choice? I mean, it probably would be. That's a silly question, isn't it? Okay, Bakayoko, he's heading to Al Sadd. He's been a big fan of Qatar since the World Cup. He's going to go secure the bag. Enjoy your life, mate. Where is Bakayoko in real life? Apparently he plays for Lorient. Did they sign him permanently? They did, for £2.5 million. Just as a reminder, Chelsea signed this man for £40 million in 2017. Oh, brilliant. Kovacevic rejects Newcastle. Why? I mean, Tottenham and Man United are interested as well. We'll offer him out again. Someone will bid on him, I'm sure. Okay, I did wonder if I might build my team around Lukaku. That won't be happening. I've done this because the fans hate him and he's injury prone. And he's on £350,000 a week. We've managed to get £46 million for him. There's maybe a handful of teams in the world that could sign him. PSG are one of them. They made a bid. Off he goes. I mean, fair play to him. He has actually taken a pay cut to go to them. But, yeah, I mean, that if PSG aren't willing to match the wages that we're paying him, we're definitely paying him too much. Okay, Ziyech is leaving us for £32 million. This is the biggest scam of all time. Pulisic is also going to Tottenham for £54 million. Tottenham are giving me a combined £86 million for their players. Ward-Prowse has agreed to move with Liverpool. He would have actually been a really good signing, wouldn't he? Kovacevic wants to know why I'm encouraging every option that would lead to him being sold. He wants to stay. Oh, I just wanted some money, really. We're going to get 44 million from him, and it's not happened. Tottenham have actually made a bid. They've bid 25 million. He doesn't even want to go to them. I guess we're keeping Kovacic around. I've just realised I've still got sales ongoing here. My transfer budget now sits at 350 million. Shout out to PSG, Tottenham, and the Qatari government. You guys are great. Not actually, but yeah. Although I guess two of those are the same entity, and then there's Tottenham. Tottenham, you're not bad in the grand scheme of things. And Kepa is leaving for £50 million. Goodbye. Yeah, bye. Aubameyang has also left the building. Only £5 million for him, but for a 34-year-old who doesn't want to be here, could be worse. I've got Malo Gusto out on loan. He's coming back in a few days. He's on £100,000 a week. He's like £4.5 million in FPL. Why are they paying him so much? Andre Santos is also out on loan, but he's back. Of course, in real life, he went to Tottenham. He's actually mad in Football Manager. Last year, he was a hero of my beta save with Arsenal. Might keep him around. I'm a bit annoyed that I've not got Ward-Prowse, really, because it would have been quite fun, wouldn't it, to get a mad set-piece taker with the big set-piece overhaul. Who's the next best option out there? I am just looking at players with the best free kick, corner, crossing and technique in the game. Guller, of course, in real life, he left Fenerbahce, didn't he? He's moved over to La Liga. 18 years old, set-piece wizard. He could be the one. Probably is worth getting a scout report on him, but he does look absolutely phenomenal. I mean, he can't really run, but he's good at set pieces. 26 to 32 million pound. I mean, we could afford that, can't we? We'll do it. 26 million pound bid accepted. Let's move on to the negotiations. He wants to be a squad player. Of course, I won't confirm the signing till we've scouted him just to make sure he is the real deal. Bit annoyed, by the way. I can't offer an 8-year deal. It's not really a realistic Chelsea Let's Play, is it, at the moment? But I will just negotiate this around. I really would like to get rid of the yearly wage rise and not be offering him too much more in wage rises after appearances. He wants a lot more money. After 30 games, I'll give him 95,000. He really wants 100,000. 100,000. I'm offering an 18-year-old £100,000 a week. Remember, like 2 minutes ago, complaining about a 20-year-old being on 100,000? I've become the thing I hate. Fenerbahce want him back on loan. Absolutely not. I know this is something I will get asked. If you want to have your youth teams appear in the sidebar, which I usually do have, I've just not set it up yet. If you take control of individual training of your youth players, you will have to take over them, obviously. You do then get these little quick access icons. Quite why these are locked behind the responsibility, I don't know. I kind of wish there was a way you could just have them at all times anyway. I felt like I've been doing a really good job with my sales. I'm now looking at the first team, realising it's got bigger than when it started. I mean, Baba Rahman, no one wants you. I'm just going to offer him out for nothing. Surely Swan makes a bid. Bettinelli, no idea why you're here. Nathan Baxter, I mean, I can only assume you're here because you're homegrown at club. Otherwise, you serve... I was going to say no purpose. He serves a purpose. He will be staying around. We don't even have Champions League football to worry about. I don't need homegrown at club players, but we'll keep him just in case. De Jong, Sterling. Yeah, you're not it. And Jorin, I mean, potential... No, get rid of him. Apologies, by the way, if you do feel like I'm being too brief with some of these transfer overviews. Frankly, I need to get to the start of the season for episode 1. Probably will need to do some more signings at some point, but Arda Güler, I feel like as far as first signings to make in a Football Manager, we could do a lot worse. If you ignore the £100,000 we're paying him. Just pretend that bit's not a factor. Okay, Kepa has left the club for £50 million. The fan have given it a D because they're worried that a regular starter's been sold. I will get in a new goalkeeper. Ampatu's gone for 21 million as well, and our buyback clause for Tammy Abraham is now active. £69 million I could buy Tammy Abraham for. How long's he injured for? 9 months, never mind. Annoying, really, because he is actually useful. He probably would be good, but He's not good if he's just on a medical table. Although, for Chelsea, I guess that is a thing, isn't it? They like injured players. I'm looking at players like Maatsen in our under-21s thinking, are you worth keeping around or should I be selling you? I mean, he's a good player. Is he a Champions League quality player? No. He's 21. He's valued at 30 million. Get him gone. I have noticed as well, I'm in the habit of just offering players out via the transfer room, which is the same way as, well, selling players in previous Football Managers. I really should be asking the agent about bids and, intermediaries and stuff, because these are actually meant to be quite good. Okay, bid for Malang Sarr. Off you go. Sterling, not Raheem, Sterling. Sterling. Luton want him for $1 million. They can have him for $1 million. I've had a bid for N'Golo Kante. I mean, it's not an amazing offer, and I kind of wanted to keep him around to mentor the children. You know what? I'm going to reject it. I know I probably should take the money for him, but I like the idea of living in this alternative universe where he stays around at the club. With model citizen personality, he is pretty invaluable given how young our team is. They've made another bid for Kante. In fact, it's a different one of the teams that have made a bid. They've offered 17 million. No, I'm not doing it. I'm going to hold firm. I'm a man of principle. I can't be bought out with Saudi money. Just got to introduce myself to the players. There's lots of faces here, isn't there? There's lots of players still at this meeting. Can they all fit in the changing room? Chat about the Premier League campaign. Champions League football. Yeah, Reece James loves it. And we're going to win the FA Cup as well. Okay. Why is one player upset? Too ambitious to win the FA Cup. Sorry, got it wrong. I've not made any promises to the players. I just wanted to leave the meeting. Enzo Fernandez took that personally. He hates me. I mean, I've got £400 million to spend. We can buy anyone we want. I was just sat thinking, I've got all this money. Where did this money go in real life? And Nkunku, 60 million euros. Lavia, a similar amount. Casado, over £100 million. Yeah, they did burn through a lot of money, didn't they? I think Cole Palmer and Diassi were like another close to 100 million. Nicholas Jackson was like 30 million. I'm going through the signings they made. They were mental. You know, I said I couldn't be bought out for money. Slowly but surely getting more tempted. I'm getting bids for Kante again. I mean, they've offered £20 million. I'll take 60 for him. They've offered 28. 57. They've offered 30. 55. I'm the master of 57. It's 50. 56 million they've just bid. I did say I was a man of principles earlier. Though they've gone out the window. I'm like your average politician. Oh God, one of them heard that I accepted a bid. Now Al Hilal have come in with 54 million. I need more money than that. 80 million. You can have him. You can have. Is this how it works in everyone's save games? I noticed here, Tottenham have just signed Wan-Bissaka. I probably should be doing some transfer dealings. I've been so preoccupied with selling players, I've not actually done any buying. I'm looking at the transfer listed players. Why am I looking at... I don't need to be snobby about my money. I'm Chelsea. I can just phone up Todd if I need more money. It has just dawned on me that Jude Bellingham hasn't joined Real Madrid in this universe. I could sign Jude Bellingham. It's a lot of money, but he could be worth it. Kvicha is also, I'm not going to try and say that. Kvicha's available. You know, Kvaradona, I believe they call him, or something like that over in Naples. He's quite good as well. Quite a lot of Wonga. It's weird, right? Because there's players like Bellingham who realistically, in any other version of the Football Manager game mode, there's no chance you're ever going to be able to sign him. But given the fact this is our beta save for the next few weeks, we can just have some fun with it if we want. Mallorca have made a loan offer for Datro Fofana. I know in real life he's gone to Union Berlin, hasn't he? He's not going to be near our first team this year. I think a loan makes sense. Although, can he be an important player? He can be an important player. Has just dawned on me right now, my striking option is Broja or Havertz. Yeah, I really need to get a striker. I mean, Mason Burstow was a Park to Prem legend last year. I don't feel like he's ever going to be near our first team. He's one of these players who's good, but I probably should be selling rather than loaning. Just checking, when does the season start? Oh, Tottenham first game of the season. After all the players I've sold them, what could go wrong? Minor heart-in-mouth moment. Mason Mount injured 7 to 9 days. I'm calm. I'm fine. I feel like in this universe, I want to build my team around him. Although, when you look at him as a player, he really doesn't suit any role in Football Manager, does he, Mason Mount? It's just a weird polygon. I love the fact I've got bids from Saudi Arabia for Ben Chilwell, who would need a lot of convincing to stay. I need... Chilwell's very good in Football Manager. If my English core to this team is to ring true, I need him around. I don't want to get carried away. It's a big moment. I no longer need to scroll on the squad screen to see all my players. Kante wants to know why I've put him in the under-21s. I was just hiding you, mate, because you're off to Saudi Arabia for 80 million. I'm just going to ignore him. Out of sight, out of mind. Al Hilal make Kane offer. They've also signed Raya as well. The Saudi clubs are mental in Football Manager 24. 127 million that Karai's 141. No wonder Tottenham were happy giving me loads of money. Now, the nice thing about this mode is that if there are players that in real life Chelsea signed, I could actually look to sign them. And one of the players that I am thinking about is Caicedo. If Kante's leaving the club, I need a Kante replacement. I want him. I don't know if I want him for the amount of money they want. They're asking for £86 million, then £78 million over 2 6-month instalments, then a bonus if we make the Champions League. How about if he plays 30 games and I qualify for the Champions League this season, I'll give you £20 million. I'll give you £90 million up front. I'm going to end up paying more than they paid in real life for him, aren't I? Okay, bid accepted. Caicedo, I think, would be a really good pickup. There's a reason they signed him in real life. Good footballer. I am also a big fan of Nkunku, who is still at, obviously, Leipzig, hasn't moved. I think I want to get Nkunku in. I need a striker, and I'm thinking Nkunku would not be a bad addition to do something like that for us. Apparently, the best striker in the team at the moment is Havertz, who's a world-class midfield. That is a generous media description, isn't it? But I need a striker. I don't have Jackson. I don't have any of the other strikers they've signed. Okay, £85 million bid accepted for Nkunku. It's a lot of money. I feel like he's worth it. I really rate him. Have just realised I never actually got any bids for Koulibaly. Let's try again, Mr. Agent. The agent didn't do me anything. Intermediaries, someone make something happen. I'll offer him on the transfer room as well. He just makes me sad to look at. I know he has loads of issues with injuries. Ruben Loftus-Cheek is very good, isn't he? Like, really, really good. I think I'm keeping him around. There's currently 24 players in the first team. 11 of the first team players are English primary nationality. I love it. Okay, Caicedo wants a lot of money. I'm just gonna have to give him it, aren't I? He wanted 150,000. I'm gonna try 130, 140? 140. And Nkunku, bid accepted. He wants potentially even more money. I think he's worth it. Wants to stepping stone. Sorry, Sunshine. Absolutely not. I removed it. He was fine with it. He wanted a release. If he asked for a release clause here, I'm not going to be happy. Okay. He's not asked for one. He is asking for quite a fair bit of bob. 175,000. He wants a 10% yearly wage rise. I'm not a mug, son. I'll give you 180 and no yearly wage rise. Okay, you know what? He was reasonable there. I'm fine with that. I still don't have a goalkeeper. I probably should sort that out. You know what? I'm looking at English players. I'm thinking Dean Henderson could be the one. I could go for someone bigger, better, and more exciting, but I feel like this man's been hard done by over the years, and I feel like resurrecting his career at Chelsea. 18 million, 17. Pleasure doing business with United. I'll tell you what, Bazunu could be a really good pickup for us, because he's been relegated with Southampton. He's got great potential. He looks pretty good for a goalkeeper. 21 years old, 16 caps for the Irish national team. How much did they going to want? 17 to 26 million. You know what? I think I sign him and Henderson and have them fight it out for the number 1 shirt. I feel like in real life, a lot has been made of Arteta having Raya and Ramsdale go head-to-head. I'm doing the same with Dean Henderson and Bazunu. I mean, he wants to be a backup. That doesn't really reflect well on his ability. He wants £150,000 as the backup. 130. Dean, thank you. I'm turning into a harder negotiator. Gone is the Jack of 20 minutes ago. Southampton want Bazunu back? Absolutely not. I don't know if it's a great sign when both goalkeepers you're looking to sign want to be the backup goalkeeper rather than the first choice. But Bazunu, I thought we were going to get it done. Bazunu, £70,000 as a backup, loads of potential. I love him. I've not really talked about this because I've been trying to do it under the cover so Chelsea fans didn't get upset. I've been trying to force Azpilicueta out of the club. You know, in real life, he left the team. Been offering him out for nothing. There are teams interested. The squad aren't happy with what I've done. I mean, to be fair, they do have a point. I am trying to sell him ahead of his testimonial in 3 weeks' time. But I don't want to have to pay his wages. Also, it would be quite funny if he wasn't here for his own testimonial. I mean, what do the players want me to say? Why are you trying to force him out of the club? He left in real life and it feels like good for the role play element. I'm going to kick a chair and say that. I don't think he's good enough. They all hate me. Do I just back down? I've clearly got this wrong. You want him to stay. I'll promise. I've just promised that I'm not selling him now. Yeah, I'm not the hardened negotiator I thought I was. Of course, I attend that meeting and then immediately Al-Shabaab make a bid. Of course they make a bid. I mean, I have to reject this because if he turns them down, I'm going to have like half the squad at my throat. Okay, Kante has gone off to Al Hilal. I can't believe I've got £80 million for him. I feel dirty taking that money. I feel like I should be distributing that to poorer teams in the Football League. Now, I'm thinking about teams like Scunthorpe, thinking I could give them 80 million just, you know, to help them out. Also, I haven't got that league loaded, so it kind of defeats the point. If you have a club that you support that you think deserve the Kante 80 million, let me know who the team is down in the comments. I will pick a random club next episode and gift them £80 million. It's turned into a giveaway, this video. Hashtag welcome Dean. Dean Henderson joins us as a starting goalkeeper. Have I lost my mind? I don't think so. I mean, my fully English starting 11 here now looks quite good. This wouldn't be the actual starting 11 that I use, but the fact that these players all exist, it's a good future. Why did I say anything? Mason Mount out for 2 to 3 weeks. Gill is injured too, although it's a minor one. I realised I signed him before the actual scout report came in. I got excited earlier. I've only just realised now. Okay, Bazunu's joining us for £20 million. We've sold both our goalkeepers. I need a decent backup. This guy has bags of potential, reasonable price, and the kind of player who actually could step into the starting 11 if needed. Good news, everyone. Casado has been granted his work permit. Going to bring him into the team. Rate him massively as a player. He is incredible in Football Manager. When he's fit, he is injured at the moment, much like in real life. Hopefully, he gets fit soon. Otherwise, we're in trouble. And Kunku's set for move to Liverpool. I'm not being funny. I'm waiting on a work permit for him. If he ends up going to Liverpool now, that would be a joke. TalkSport. Accurate, to be fair. They talk a load of waffle. Arda Guller's got injured again. If he's injury prone, I'm going to be annoyed with myself for not waiting for the scout reports. I do feel like, and this might be naive, but because we've not got Champions League football this year, I can afford to experiment a little bit more. There's players like Colwill and Chalobah who I could give really long runs at centre-back in the teams to kind of just see if they improve during the season. If we're in a more competitive year, Thiago Silva would probably be starting every game. But given the fact he's 38 and this is Football Manager and Colwill has loads of potential, I mean, I was going to say I want to play Colwill more. I've now looked at the Polygon and realised Thiago Silva is actually really good. He might not be able to run everything else he's quite good at. Datro Fofana, much like in real life, heading to the Bundesliga, playing for Freiburg for the year. We'll keep a close eye on his development because he is a good player in FM. And elsewhere, Lewis Hall is going to join Middlesbrough in the Championship, playing as a regular important player for them. That should be really good for his development in the Championship. Chilwell linked with Al Ittihad. No. He might be linked with them. He's not going to them, but I'll tell you, he's coming to us. Christopher Nkunku. Have I overpaid at £85 million? Maybe a little bit. But in Football Manager terms, he's blooming good. And he's great at free kicks as well, which is nice. I kind of want to give Hudson-Odoi a new deal because it expires at the end of the year and I don't want to lose him on a free. I'm fearful of how much he's going to want. There is some interest for him to go out on loan to Leicester, which would make a load of sense. He wants to be a first-team player in a few years' time. Let's give him a aim for the kind of coming seasons. You need to be getting a 7.2 rating in competitive first-team matches, and I'll make you a regular starter. That'll be a target. Can he make it happen? He thinks he can. Obviously, the new target feature, if you've not seen this, basically, if you think a player's demands are unreasonable when it comes to future playing time, you can set them a target. So, I mean, if he wants to get a 7.2 rating, probably deserves to be a regular starter. I don't think it'll happen. If it now happens, I'm going to look like an idiot. Now, he is currently on £120,000 a week. He's asking for 150. I can give you 125, mate, and not a penny more. Please just accept this and leave me alone. Thank you. He's probably not worth the money I've just given him, but he does have some potential. At 22 years old, he could still go out and have a really good loan spell at Leicester. This year in Football Manager, players can develop a lot later and fully fulfill their potential. Well, I hope it's the case with him. I mean, with our English plans for this team, he's got 3 caps for the national team. He could be good still. And with that contract sorted, I will now loan him out for the year. Playing regular football for Leicester in a promotion campaign could be great for him. I actually have no idea how long this episode's going to end up being. I feel like when it comes to YouTube, episode 1s of Let's Plays are really important in terms of showing a match, getting through the squad, giving an overview. But at the same time, with this kind of save game, this transfer period we're documenting in this longer kind of episode 0 thing is really, really important. I wanted to do something a little bit different to what a lot of the other episodic Let's Players are doing for their first save games. I hope you've enjoyed this. Of course, if you are a first-time watcher, we do transfer specials like this normally. This one, though, has a slightly different vibe about it because I have got real life to go off as kind of a baseline for decisions that I make. Okay, Hudson-Odoi has signed that new 5-year deal. He is also heading out to Leicester. Elsewhere, by the way, Koulibaly, still no one really going for him. At this point, I'm beginning to think I might just end up keeping him around. I mean, Koulibaly is a good centre-back. I just look at the list of centre-backs that we've got, some young players with some good potential. Not sure how essential he's going to be to the first team this year. I'm just looking at the transfers I've done. I felt like I'd done a lot, and I have done a lot. It's crazy how many more players I've sold than bought in, and yet my squad does still just look like a normal size squad. This is the preliminary starting 11 right now. I do feel like of all our first team players, Havertz and Mount might be slight weak links. I kind of question, would Nkunku be better served as the centre attacking mid behind another striker, given the fact Kai maybe has some question marks over him? If I was going to go big on a position now, I think it probably would be the striking department. The rest of the team, maybe the exception of one wide player, I'm kind of happy with, which is probably a good thing because we're actually not a million miles away from the start of the season. It's crept up on us. We're about, what, 3 weeks away? I love the fact that the top-rated player my scouts have looked at is Darwin Núñez. I mean, I love Darwin Núñez as a Liverpool fan. Would it be cursed to sign him for Chelsea? That is what I'm questioning right now. Kolo Muani's available, of course. Real life went to PSG. He's a very good player in Football Manager. Someone like Isaac is another great player, the Swedish striker, tearing it up at 23 years old for Newcastle. João Felix has popped up. Gnabry, not sure about Gnabry. Of course, a little reminder, we don't have Champions League football this year. That definitely impacts the pulling power that I have when it comes to signings. I'll tell you what, one player could be really fun is Ansu Fati, obviously in real life. Bit of a weird move for him to Brighton. He is overpaid on the wages front. You could bring him in to potentially play in the wide areas for us. I feel like he'd fit the team quite nicely. His agent thinks he'll want between £240,000 and £325,000. The thing is, he is 20 years old. The injury proneness is a natural concern, but he's very, very... I mean, it's Ansu Fati. He's still very good. I'm going to offer them £25 million up front, and then over the next 3 years, I will pay you a grand total of... I feel like I have to be reasonable here, don't I? I'll pay you £35 million over 3 years, £25 million up front. I want a lot more than that. I feel like this transfer is inherently a gamble. 70 million up front. Okay, look, if he plays in 30 games this year and we make the Champions League, I'll give you 30 million and then I'll pay you 70 million up front. 110. 80. Take 8, they want 100. I'm about to spend a lot of money on Ansu Fati, but I just feel like it's a good signing. What I do need to remember is, if we're on the verge of qualifying for the Champions League at the end of this year, to only play him in 29 games. I think I can remember that. It wasn't even the negotiating with Barcelona I was worried about. It was actually the wages I was worried about. He wants to be a star player. He wants to play on the left-hand side as an inside forward. He could play there and we'd move Raheem Sterling out onto the right-hand side. What are the wages that you want, mate? 300,000. I've just sold Lukaku for £350,000 a week. Now you're wanting that. Let's try 225. He's never going to take this, is he? He wants 300. 250, 240. 240. You're a man of peace. Surely. 250. 250. I'm paying Ansu Fati £250,000 a week. It's a beta save. It's a beta. We're allowed to do silly stuff. It's the beta. I mean, I've got the 80 million to give away from the Kante fund because I still feel wrong about that money. So if we sign Fati for the money that we're paying, we are still going to have about £100 million to spend on someone else. So if Fati comes in, I'd play Raheem Sterling out on the right-hand side as a winger, and then Fati would play on the left-hand side, cutting in on his kind of stronger foot. What I will say is, you compare Fati with Raheem Sterling here. Mental how much I'm willing to pay Ansu Fati, isn't it? I'm just sat in my head thinking, with Fati, you're paying for the potential. We'll wait for the scout report. If the scout report says he's bad, I won't do it. I was originally looking for a striker. I've signed the wide player that I was kind of contemplating signing. I'm now looking at strikers and realising that Nicholas Jackson, who of course Chelsea did sign, he is on this list. Doesn't look that good, though, when the scout report has come in. I'm looking through the strikers here. I'm not really loving any of the options. Maybe I'll just scout a ton. Montpellier have made a bid for Koulibaly. I'll be honest, it's a pretty insulting bid. There is no way they're actually going to be able to afford him. Best trainer at the moment, by the way, Kai Havertz. He's really trying to fight for his first team spot and me to keep him around. I think I'm convinced. I really feel like I shouldn't be doing this, and yet I really, really, really want to do it. £120 million at Ansu Fati. I mean, the scout report still hasn't even come in for him. We'll delay it. We'll delay it. It's tricky because on the one hand, there's an expectation when you play Football Manager on YouTube, you should play everything optimally and min-max everything, and you're playing to be successful in front of thousands of people. And yet some of the most fun experience you have in Football Manager when you ignore all common sense and go rogue. And I do feel like signing Fati would be going very, very rogue. I mean, I have got the scout report here. Incredible potential, A-. The reason it's only an A- is because it's not possible to sign him at the moment because he is set to join us. He is an absolutely phenomenal player. If he was to stay fit for us, he'd be incredible. I mean, I'd probably never get my money back for him, but equally, I'm never going to get a chance to play with him in Football Manager as Chelsea manager, realistically. This is the now or never moment. I'm going for the now. Transfer, ask for confirmation. This is going to be divisive. It's fine. It's fine. It's the internet. No one has an opinion on the internet. I'm about to hit accept. I've hit accept. I feel sick. You've got to remind me in the comments we can only play him for 29 games. I'm not giving Barcelona 30 million if we qualify for the Champions League. That would be not wise. I mean, here he is. He's here. His value has now gone up to nearly 200 million, so great deal. That's the logic I'm going with. I look at the starting 11 here, and I look at the bench, and I feel like we still might need one striker, but given I've got a bit of a timeline to get this video out, I'm content with this as my transfer business for the prologue transfer special thing. My aim is very much to get this video out the first night of the beta. As I hit stop record here, after 2 hours, it's 7 PM. I'm going to try and get this up for 9 PM. That might sound impossible. If I've managed it, you have to go down now below this video and leave a like. I command you. Let me know who you're managing in the beta. I hope you've enjoyed this video. It's probably very different to any other video that exists for this game at the moment, but I know my regular viewers enjoy transfer specials. With this kind of save game, having this as episode 1, I feel like would feel a bit weird, especially for new people jumping in. Next episode, I will do my typical run through the transfers as if this episode had never happened, except it has happened. You've been here. You've been a wonderful audience. Just a reminder, if you are interested in picking up FM24, you've enjoyed this video, you want to check it out for yourself, check out the link down below the video to the Fanatical discount code, 22% cheaper than Steam. The deal is active through the entire period leading up to release on November 6th. So if you're waiting for a payday, don't worry, the option is still there. It does help directly support me, and it gets you the game for a really good price from a Sega-approved retailer, no less. Anyway, we are going to leave things there for today. I will be back tomorrow with a normal episode where we will get into our first season in our little Chelsea universe we're developing. I hope you've enjoyed this one. I'll see you again very soon. It's me, Jack, and I'm out.